I think that's even. Actually, I could just add a little more like darkness there. And then the rest I'll just paint around. Because you just do this. And then you go. There you go. Cool. Okay, we're going to put on some primer, which I think I've lost. Not off to a very good start. Oh, there it is. Can you see that? Who inspired you to do drag? Literally answer this in my story. There's a drag queen in Brisbane called the Slaying Mantis, and they did a performance and I watched it and I went, I want to do drag. Easy. It was just so like, it all kind of clicked into place. I think I had bought a wig at the time from like eBay, but I hadn't really like used it. I just kind of like had it and I was like, yes, I own a wig. It was a white wig. I bought a white wig. I don't know why I thought white was like the color. It was the first, I'd never owned a white wig before or worn a white wig. I mean, like since then, and I've just recently bought a white wig. So I'm kind of like, should I recreate my first look? I think I will. That'd be fun, right? Yeah. How often do you work a week? Anytime between 1 to 3. I don't like doing any more than 4. I have once done 8 days in a row and I wanted to die. Like by day 4, I was like, not this. But usually like between 1 and 3. I like a good 2 gig week. I like 2 gigs a week. I feel like that's like, I like doing like a Friday and a Sunday. Yeah. Someone said, how do you let negative comments stop you from doing you? You can choose to believe them or not. And I just choose not to believe them. Easy. When I first did Drag Race, though, there was a lot of like, so-and-so was robbed or like blah, blah, blah. And I originally, when Drag Race first happened, I didn't know how to deal with that. And I believed it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this person is better than me, or I don't deserve X, Y, Z. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, no, I am amazing. And I do deserve these things just as much as the next queen. So it's just, it's if you read the comments, you can read, people are like, don't read the comments. There's nothing wrong with reading the comments, provided that you choose what is worth believing. And that's the tea. Not my wisdom era. Someone asked me a similar question and they were like, do you agree with how you were portrayed on drag? I actually might put it in a highlight because I really was happy with my response. Someone asked, do you agree with how you were portrayed on Drag Race? And I just was like, well, everything I did. It's more that it just, I don't disagree, but it just doesn't reflect who I am now. I think so many people like do Drag Race, and they're like, yes, that was me. But I look back on that and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like a different person. Like, so now I actually look back and it's like a bit embarrassing, not out of shame, but just out of like, I don't even like, recognize my skill set. I don't recognize the way I acted. I don't recognize any of it. I'm like, oh my God, like, when I'll you know what, I don't really care at this point. I felt quite ganged up on by the other group, and I don't really feel that way anymore, but at the time I felt really ganged up on. But if I felt the same way now, I probably would have reacted completely differently. Do you know what I mean? So it's more just about like growth, but conscious growth. Like it's about growing with intent, not just like going through the motions and changing and whatever. It's about like kind of looking at your past, going, okay, what do I like about this? What do I not like about it? How do I want to change? And yeah, and that's the tea. And I have also learned, I used to shy away from how I really felt, and now I'm like, if it's how I really feel, if I can like say it with my chest, but say it in a way that's like adult, I think there's nothing wrong with telling the truth. What was my first job? I worked for Athlete's Foot, and I also worked for McDonald's. Classic first job. I was a runner for the school holiday period. So during like the really busy times, we had like an offsite, and I would have to go back and forth. Like it was like 500 meters between the shop and the like warehouse, and I would just get shoes. I was so fit. I was like 14, 15, 16. I did every Christmas holidays, and I was so fit because I was doing so much walking and, dare I say, running every day with shoes, and it was really fierce. And then I also worked at McDonald's, and then working at McDonald's, I worked there for like 3-4 years throughout high school, and it just helped me like support myself during high school, so I could, do things I wanted to do. And I remember it was really bad for my skin because of all the oil, and I ended up having to go on like acne medication because my skin was so bad. It was all oily. It was so bad. So that was my first job. And then after that, I became a tutor for high school students, mainly with like autism or learning difficulties. So I have a lot of training with like, not education, but training with like working with children in terms of getting them to reaching their full academic potential is what I did in university. And then I became a drag queen. Has anyone told you the cutest boy out of drag? Yes, my boyfriend. He did. Were you the one who backed out of the tour? Did it affect your career? No, that was not me. I actually don't say no to gigs ever. When is the next Kill House? We have a date, but I'm not telling you. Yeah. Hey, Brady. Yeah. Oh. Who can fucking take me? I look great today. I do think painting a really nice mug will make you just feel more confident. And so whenever I paint like a really good mug, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good. Like, look at the eye. All right, let's get that white up in there. Having worked with autistic and neurodivergent kids, do you think Drag Race treats its neurodivergent contestants well? I probably wouldn't be able to give you a good answer because I actually don't know. It's kind of public knowledge that there is they do like basically like an analysis of your mental health prior to the show. And if they don't feel like you're equipped to be on the show, they don't put you on. So they kind of, instead of dealing with it, they kind of just avoid like giving people those problems in the first place, which I think is better. It doesn't cut people out who are neurodivergent. It just gives the opportunity to the people who are equipped to deal with it. Because Drag Race is very difficult. It's great. It's difficult. It's amazing. It's rewarding. But they're not going to put people in positions where they're uncomfortable or not able to deal with the heavy stress of what being on a TV show can be like. So they do look after the contestants in that way. Any advice for the girlies thinking of doing Starlet next year? Yeah, it's a drag show in a nightclub. You need to be entertaining. You need to be doing pop music that people want to hear. You need to think about who is your audience, who are the judges. You need to cater to them. I always think drag comps is 50% your brand and 50% the brand of the venue. So you can be artistic, but it needs to be artistic through a lens of we're in a gay top 40 nightclub. What does that look like? And I stand by that. How do you deal with anxiety? Anxiety isn't a big problem in my life. Depression, though. I really am not an anxious person. I lean closer to the depressive side of things. And it sounds lame, but it is self-care. It's for me, I exercise every day. If I don't go to the gym, I feel very, if I do drag, I take the day off the gym, but if not, I have to go to the gym because I need to blast my music. I need to be with people. I need to be moving my body, eating well. It sounds very lame, but the classic, fixes to depression are the ones that work. You need to eat, you need to sleep, don't drink too much, don't do drugs. You need to have a balanced social life, Don't overwork yourself, but be stimulated at the same time. I'm a big believer in like classic treatment of, like, at least for my depression. I'm a big believer in you're a plant. You need sun, water, food, and people. Like, you need to do that, and it's up to you to do that. You can't just like wait for your depression to go away. You need to be stronger than it. And there's been plenty of times where I've not been stronger than my depression. But happiness takes effort. And Felicity Vodka Lay says hi. Hi. Happiness takes effort, and you are worthy of happiness. That's something I didn't always believe. But each and every one of us is worthy of happiness. But the only person that you can give it to is yourself. So just a reminder, I'm really trying to get my cheeks really bright, but for some reason, when I blended it, it's not blending very nicely. You're welcome, Sophie. Sophie and Paige. That's better. That's a bit brighter. So I'll just kind of keep it to like the apple. Is the apple the high bit of the cheek? Anything worthwhile doesn't come easy. Absolutely. Anything that is hard is worth doing. Because even if it doesn't reap the benefits that you want, you pushed yourself and you made yourself stronger. And that's the tea. That's the tea. Yeah. Any more questions about depression? I'll happily answer them. Because I'm actually a big believer in what do you say? Like, yeah, classic treatments. I'm a big believer. I've had friends that like have dealt with the same thing, and anytime I give my advice, it's always like, oh, I don't want to hear that. I'm like, well, okay. Do you just want to be sad? Because like, I don't think being sad is very fun. I don't use my sadness or my depression when it does come to me. I don't use that to validate my feelings or give myself any excuses. I don't use my sadness to validate anything. Whereas I think some people, if you're someone who like wallows in your depression, you're kind of using that to like validate being sad, but I don't think there's any point in validating it. I think there's just a point of that you deserve happiness and it's there for you, but you need to go grab it. But that being said, sometimes grabbing it is incredibly difficult. And you do need to have a bit of a wallow to get to what you deserve. And that's the tea. I will say, if we can, talk honestly, doing Drag Race brought along a lot of those depressive moments, but I've honestly got to the point now where like any feeling that comes up about anything negative that comes up, I know exactly how to deal with it. And it's actually been really, I'm very proud of myself of how I've completely flipped the script on what I felt like was going to be my life. And that's the tea. Look at this wide nose. Look at this wide ass big nose. Do you have a little routine to help get rid of nerves and get in the right headspace? Yeah, I've been told that I go really quiet before I go on stage, and this is true. And the reason is because I'm just like, and then when I go on stage, it's like, so before I go on stage, I just have I sip my drink, whether it's alcoholic or not, I just kind of sip my little drink and I zen out. I don't believe in going crazy before a gig. I don't, how do you say, I don't drink really before gigs, because I just like to hold it all together and then you kind of release it. So that's my tea. That's my boots. Okay, that nose is a bit more pinched. Cool. Let's blend out the contour. 9/11 was bad. 9/11 was definitely bad. If you don't know what I'm referencing, don't worry about it. It's very funny. What kind of support did you get after Drag Race from the show for career stuff or gigs? What kind of support did you get after Drag Race from the show for career stuff or gigs? None in terms of the career. They're not... they're not your manager. Like, they don't, do you know what I mean? Like, it's up to you. Like, you can do the show, but it's completely up to you what you do with it. They give you the support that's needed in terms of like what the show does. Like, if you need like support, like psychologically, they supply that to you, and that's really good. Like, I think World of Wonder is actually really great. They do look after the queens. But in terms of the career, that's your job. And like, you know, if you do Drag Race expecting that everything to be handed to you, got news for you, sweetie. Night tattoos and great makeup. Hello from Virginia. Hello. Funniest blooper moment you've done in your career. I would say Drag Race was a pretty big blooper for me. Yeah. I wouldn't even describe it as a blooper. I just think like having all of my failures recorded and edited like that, I was like, I remember watching it back just thinking like, oh my fucking God, so embarrassing. But I think it made me more determined to like prove people wrong. I'm very, very, as you probably saw on the show, I'm very stubborn. And I'm very passionate about proving people wrong when I think I have the capability to do something. So when I did badly in comedy, I was like, I'm going to fucking show people what I can do. And I have. I'm going to be banging on your door in 4 minutes. Okay. Maybe you can join the live, Callie. How's that? How do you feel about gay love, monogamy, and open relationships? I feel I don't like gay love. It's very bad. Like, none of those words were in the Bible. So I'm kind of like, you know, let's just respect our creator. You know? No, I feel fine. I think it's like no secret that like, not even no secret. I don't make a secret that like I'm in an open relationship, but my opinion on it is that like, what am I trying to say? Polyamory is not for me, but like an open relationship for me has worked really well. It's Becky motherfucking Jackson in the house. For me, open relationships work really well because we don't live in the same city. Do you know what I mean? But our number one rule of our relationship is we always put each other first, always. And I just think that's the best way to do it. Like, as long as you love someone and you're like committed to them, you're able to compartmentalize, you know, what sex is and what love is. And that is the motherfucking tea. And it's worked really well for me. We've been together for like early 2021. So like almost 3 years. He was my rock throughout Drag Race. And it was great. And the good thing about him is that he doesn't really want to be in the limelight. Like, he's a very happy supporter on the side. And, you know, that doesn't mean that, and then I, you know, give him the support that he needs, whether it's in his work, his life, relationships, whatever, like personal relationships, you know. But people need to remember that relationships are very hard. You have to sacrifice a lot. You have to compromise a lot. And if you're not willing to compromise or sacrifice, then relationship is not for you. And that's okay. I think people have an idea that you've got to be in a relationship or you have to have some sort of like romantic connection at all times. Not true. You know, however it works for you, it works for you. I think Californicator's at my door. Because we're doing a gig together today. So I might go grab her. But this nose is fierce. Like, can we talk about it? Okay. But I'm almost, kind of painted. Like, almost. I'm getting there. Do. Do I have any questions? I feel like doing like a bit of a Q&A. Thanks, Megan. Or Megan. I actually don't know if it's Megan or Megan. I actually don't care. So... You have one. Okay, well, ask your question. Oh. How long does it take you to get into drag? I'm 2 hours from shower to the Uber being called. Yeah, so this is new and this is new. I've had this for like 2 years. And I'm going to America in December, and America and Canada in December. So I think I might get one here. Like I'm thinking like something Canadian would be cute. Like a mountain, like the Rockies or something would be really cute. Like just here. And I'll kind of go down because I really love like traditional tattoos. I think they're so beautiful. Yeah. All right. Callie's here. Bye.